Hi everyone, welcome to the 2023 20th Annual Romance Through the Ages Contest, promoted by heartsthroughhistory.com. My name is Kimberly Nielsen and I am the RTTA Contest Coordinator. Thank you for volunteering as a judge. We appreciate the gift of your time, your expertise, energy, and helping our entrants grow in their writing careers. I just quickly want to go over some things that will help you in the judging process. I have a separate video that explains the judging form. So this video, we're just going to kind of go over some of the things that I want you to remember. Number one, read every entry completely. If there's a reason you cannot read the entry all the way through, contact your category coordinator or myself. Number two, make comments as you're reading your entry so you can remember when you go back to fill out the judging sheet the things you liked and disliked about the entry that you read. Keep your wording of comments and suggestions positive. We want to foster growth as an author. We don't want to cut our authors down. Never try to change a person's story to suit your own taste. You end up judging something and it has to do with circuses and you absolutely hate circuses. Just try to look at the positive things and the actual craft of writing rather than something about the story that annoys you. Number four, remember, writers enter contests for feedback. They want to know what's working in their story, what doesn't work. If the conflict doesn't work, the motivations of the characters does not work, or if the characterization of their characters don't fit with what you're trying to accomplish in showing who that character truly is. So point these things out that the author does wrong, as well as pointing out all the things the author is doing right. Make suggestions for improvement. Sorry about the truck. Make suggestions for improvement, or just highlight all the things they're doing great so they can continue in that direction through the rest of their manuscript. Do not edit the entries, and I talk about this in the Judges Forum video as well, but I'm going to talk about it here. You are not an English teacher. You are not a line-by-line editor. You're a reader. We want to know what the story is evoking in you emotionally. So don't worry about correcting the grammar and the spelling. There is a section on the judging form, and I talk about that in the judging video, that will allow you to notate if there has been any technical errors, but don't line by line through the entry. Comments are encouraged, but no actual line editing to track changes. Remember, you're a reader, okay? Not the editor. If you feel you cannot judge an entry fairly, like let's say you start reading it and you're like, oh my goodness, this is my friend Carl's manuscript that I've been working to help him with. He's my critique partner. Let us know. Okay, so, and we'll make sure we get it to another judge. If there's another, like say someone had entered the same manuscript in after they cleaned it up from last year and you already judged it last year, let us know that as well. I pretty much made sure that didn't happen, but I might have let somebody slip through the cracks accidentally. Number 7, do not wait till the last minute to read your entries that you'll be judging. If you're not going to be able to meet the obligation in the next month, let me know and we'll make other arrangements. Every judge has 3 entries, so within 1 month, if you just read 1 a week, I think you'd be good to go. Please confirm that you received all the entries. So after you've gotten the email, you've watched these videos, just shoot me back a message really quick saying, hey Kimberly, I got it, I'm good to go. Do not take points off for formatting. Formatting oftentimes gets very distorted when the entrants send it through our website down to my email, and then I open it up to make sure everything's okay and make sure that the entry has the proper numbers and codes on it, and then I forward it on to you. So it going from a PC to a Mac to another PC or whatever may change some of the formatting. So please be gentle and don't comment on the formatting because it may get all skewed up. Number 10, please do not give 0 for a score, ever. Okay, there's always something that you can say about the different categories that you're judging on. Remember the recommendations. I have in here 9 to 10, excellent, 8 to 8.9, good, 7 to 7.9, average, 6 to 6.9, below average, 5 to 5.9, marginal, 4 to 4.9, poor, below 4 is very, very poor. And honestly, there shouldn't be anything below a 4. If there is something that's that dreadful, just send me a message and let me know. Remember, we're trying to uplift and help our authors become better authors and help them move on their way towards publication. We're not trying to break them and be the mean teacher. On the judging sheet, there's actually more descriptions of this scale of judging that will help you even better. Number 11, the entry number, the name of the book, and the character eligible for the eligible award are included in the file name. For example, AMR01 means ancient, medieval, Renaissance, number 1. The Knight would be the title, and then Arden would be the character who is scored for the Legend Award. And remember, the Legend Award is the most memorable character from that manuscript. Okay. For your privacy and to protect the integrity of the contest, the committee is keeping the identity of all the judges withheld and they're confidential. However, if you want to let your contestants know who you are, you may sign your judge's form on there. Just at the end, just say, it was great to read your story. I can't wait for it to be published. Kimberly Nielsen. You can contact me here if you want. But you don't have to do that. We want to keep it completely confidential. You will be signed a judge's number, and your judge's number will be on the email, and you will use the judge number when you're filling out the judge form. Some things to think about. Here's just some ideas to think about as you're going through the reading process and the judging process. Does the author create believable, memorable characters? Are the characters unique and complex? And can you see them as real people, not just cartoon type characters? Does the dialogue contribute to the individual characterization of the characters? Does the story engage your emotions? Do you care about the characters and what happens to them? Has the author constructed a clear and compelling storyline with a recognizable beginning of an arc to conflict? Are motivations apparent? Are obstacles to be overcome? Are they challenging enough for the protagonist? If the biggest problem in the young debutante's life is she, can't wear her blue satin slippers to her ball, and that's not something that's compelling enough that a reader's going to probably want to read 300 pages of. Can you visualize the places being described? And since these are historical books, are the historical and geographic details accurately developed to give the story a realistic or an appropriate atmosphere and setting? Now, granted, most of our characters are fictional characters, but you can place them in actual historical settings. As a judge, try not to get too nitpicky. For example, a contest I entered in several years ago marked me down because my character had tied a pocket to the outside of her kirtle, which apparently you tied your pocket to the outside of your chemise and then put your kirtle on top. And so a little note, a historical note, hey, you might want to research this, would have been great, instead of, you did terrible, you don't know your history. So just kind of be gentle in that. I mean, you can point out things, but don't just tear them to shreds because one small item was historically not as accurate as it could have been. Again, if there's errors in spelling, grammar, punctuation, if it interferes with the enjoyment of the story, you can notate that on the technique section, but don't mark them down throughout the whole manuscript. Do specific details appeal to your senses and hold your attention? Are they getting your 5 senses at all? So pay attention to that, because that's something sometimes we get so absorbed in our dialogue that we forget to set the scene. So that's something to look for as well. And also passive voice. Make sure our authors are using active verbs, and if they're not, let them know in what areas that they might want to consider using active verbs to really bring the story to life. Okay, now one other thing. Given everything that's gone on in the publishing world, not just in the romance genre, we think it's very important that you know where Hearts Through History stands. We will not endorse a story where the author treats characters of marginalized communities without respect and dignity. Nor will we tolerate the glorification of atrocities, and we will not endorse entries that promote racial bigotry and glorified sexual violence. We understand these things happen in different periods of history, but we do not believe the glorification of them are characteristics of our heroes and heroines and our lead characters, our protagonists. In the entry form, you will also see that we do not list our lead characters as heroine and heroes, because we want to support our fellow writers in the LGBTQ plus and non-binary community. So we just list them as protagonist number 1 and protagonist number 2. All right. The deadline for completing the entries is on or before August 15th, 2023. So you've got a whole month to get them done. So please take your time, give it as much thought and energy as you can muster. Just don't wait till the last minute, because that will put everybody in a panic. And we want you to give our entrants the absolute best, and I'm sure that's what you want for your entry if you are entered in this contest or any other contest. All right, so thank you again for donating your time to our contest. We hope you will enjoy the experience. If you need assistance, contact me at the above email, which is on your email, which is Kimberly Nielsen at RTTA@heartsthroughhistory.org. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you again. Bye.